Live from Television Park in high definition, the station you count on. This is WJBF News Channel 6 at noon.
A deadly officer-involved shooting. I'm Chris Kane.
And I'm Barkley Bishop in this noon for Mary Morrison.
The coverage you can count on begins this noon with the breaking news out of Sardis. News Channel 6 has learned one man is dead after a shooting inside the police station in Sardis, Georgia. It all happened this morning around 2 a.m. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is still on the scene. Investigators trying to figure out what happened early this morning. Here's what GBI investigators tell us. Around 2 a.m. this morning, a Sardis police officer discovered that the door to the evidence room had been kicked in. The officer called for backup, thinking there might be a burglary in progress inside the police department. Once inside, officers found a male subject who has been identified as 34-year-old Dwayne Burke. Investigators say there was some kind of struggle inside the police department, and that's when the Sardis officer shot and struck Burke. Burke died on the scene. We're learning details about Burke, who apparently worked for the Sardis Police Department in the past. GBI investigators say they are not sure why Burke broke into the evidence room, but they did confirm that Burke has been investigated by the GBI in the past. Mike Miller has been in Sardis all morning long, and he will have much more coming up later today at 5 o'clock and 6. We'll also hear from residents in Sardis who knew Burke while he worked for the Sardis Police Department.
Switching gears to something happening right now, a big party for Malice. In case you missed, Aiken-trained horse won Saturday's Belmont Stakes. Right now, Cott Campbell, the owner of Dogwood Stable, where Malice trained, is at the Newberry Rotary Club in Aiken to celebrate the big win. Count on News Channel 6 for more Mr. Campbell tonight at 5 and 6.
And back here in Augusta, city leaders get a first-hand look at the problems at a popular park. Commissioners and city leaders touring Riverwalk this morning got to see for themselves the condition of that park. 3 weeks ago, we reported on the maintenance problems at Riverwalk, where the weeds had just run rampant. Commissioners say what's needed is to improve landscaping and lighting and general maintenance, saying that will improve security. Also, there's a need to determine how to pay for repairs to the brick and concrete work. The Convention and Visitors Bureau says Riverwalk is the third most popular destination in Augusta.
If you're heading to Fort Gordon, getting on post this week may take a little longer than normal. That's because soldiers are taking part in an anti-terrorism training. It started this morning and it runs until Thursday. The exercise is designed to help train Fort Gordon personnel on how to react to emergency situations and assess emergency response plans. More security searches and extra delays are expected. Well, we are learning more about the whistleblower, some call him a traitor, who admitted to leaking top secret documents about the National Security Agency's surveillance programs.
His name is Edward Snowden, and he apparently insisted that his identity be made public after fleeing the U.S. for Hong Kong. ABC's Devin Dwyer has more.
This is the man claiming responsibility for what is alleged to be one of the greatest national security leaks in U.S. history.
My name's Ed Snowden. I'm 29 years old.
Snowden revealed himself and his motivations in an interview posted online by the British newspaper The Guardian. He says he was previously employed as a CIA technician, but most recently worked for NSA civilian contractor Booz Allen. Snowden says he became increasingly concerned about the number of innocent Americans caught up in the NSA's data collection program and decided to leak the classified documents.
Even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're being watched and recorded. I, sitting at my desk, certainly had the authorities to wiretap anyone, from you or your accountant to a federal judge to even the president if I had a personal email.
U.S. officials say Snowden has caused grave damage to national security. They view him as a criminal, not a hero.
They're going to throw the book at him. The question is going to be, how heavy is that book?
Snowden has his defenders, including one of the reporters who interviewed him, who says there's no danger letting the public know their government is collecting their phone records and internet data.
The only thing being damaged is the credibility of political officials and the way that they exercise power in the dark.
Snowden, who's reportedly hiding in Hong Kong, is hoping to receive asylum from any country that, quote, believes in free speech and opposes the victimization of global privacy. Hong Kong and the United States have an extradition treaty, but extradition hearings could take months, maybe even years. Tamon Bradley, ABC News, Washington.
And this morning it was a rough go for some Columbia County motorists due to an accident. Deputies say the driver of this car turned in front of a truck at the intersection of Bel Air and I-20. The truck hit the car, causing some traffic delays. That's near the Steak and Shake. Nobody was hurt. News Channel 6 has learned the condition of a bride injured in a car crash just hours after her wedding is improving. Crystal Krentler has been hospitalized since the accident last Saturday night. Hospital officials say she has been upgraded to a good condition. Krentler's husband, Brian Orkowski, was killed in that accident.
You know, it's like a broken record lately. More rain is on the way, and that's not good news for the folks living in the Barrington subdivision in Columbia County. Heavy rain last week opened up a sinkhole in the entrance to their neighborhood. Some residents have had to park their cars at the entrance and walk to their homes. Columbia County officials expect repairs to take a while on that sinkhole. All right, we're talking rain. Ed, is there more in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. We've already seen some pockets of heavier rain this morning, and there's been some showers that have been rolling through the area. More of that expected. Let's go ahead and take a look at Live Viper 6. This is where we stand right now. Zooming into the metro area, this is where we've seen the most amount of rain, stretching from WJBF, our studios at Television Park, back over into Aiken County, North Augusta, Belvedere, Clearwater, Langley, up towards Vaucluse. You've seen the heaviest rain as of now. Again, we'll zoom out some more scattered thunderstorms there, north of Fort Gordon, north of Hepzibah. Some more steady rain now between Harlem and Rennes as well. But over the southeast, we've got more ahead. This is all starting to spark ahead of a cold front. In fact, just checked with the National Weather Service. We could see a severe thunderstorm watch issued within the next couple of minutes for our South Carolina communities and generally areas along and north of I-20. That's where we could see some heavier rain, maybe even some small hail with some of these afternoon thunderstorms. So here's a look at how it all breaks down in the forecast as we go through the afternoon. Right now, rain chances around 30 to 40%, but they will increase as that cold front gets closer here to around 70%. Afternoon highs in the mid-80s. Again, watch out for some stronger storms here as we go through the afternoon. Some of them could produce some small hail, some very heavy downpours as well, guys, and could present an isolated flood threat. And we're going to take a closer look at that full forecast, and that's coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Ed, make the rain go away, please. All right, in other news, people living in Aiken County will have a chance this week to speak their minds about a potential property tax increase. The school board tentatively agreed to raise its operations tax millage by 3.3 mils and reduce its debt service millage for new construction and maintenance by 2.5 mils. They'll take public comment on Tuesday at 7 p.m. at their regular meeting at the Board of Education. Columbia County's Board of Education will make a final decision on its budget this Tuesday. The board has already given the initial approval for a millage rate increase, meaning county taxes could go up. The school system faced a $4.6 million deficit because of state budget cuts and a growing student population. 3 hearings are required on the millage increase before the final budget can be passed. Well, quite a discovery for one Edgefield County man over the weekend.
Yeah, he was digging in his yard when he found a box filled with explosives. Tyrone McCoy has the story.
Here I am right in my own front yard and explosives. The two just don't seem to jive.
That's all Benny Dixon could think about when he was out trying to fix a broken water line in his front yard and ran across this. 7 half-pound cylinders of military-grade TNT locked in what he thought was a metal ammunition box.
I opened it up and there was a detonation cord all wrapped around the top of it. I took the detonation cord out and it was all marked TNT, high explosive.
Dixon says his time in the Army helped him recognize the box. From there, he says he knew just what to do.
I was in demolition explosives in combat engineers in Vietnam. So I knew I better call 911 and make sure it wasn't unstable and I wasn't going to get blown up or nothing.
Several emergency crews, including the Richmond County Bomb Squad, came out to the scene. And like authorities, Dixon wanted to know where the explosives came from. Police say, to his surprise, the devices may have come from someone close by.
There was a neighbor that used to be in the military that lived next door here several years ago, and from what I understand, he's passed away now, but that he was an armorer in the military.
Before the house was built, Dixon says. We spoke to several neighbors off camera who say they also were surprised. That's why Dixon says it's important to know what to do if you find yourself in a similar situation.
I would suggest that you leave it right where it is if you think it's some kind of an explosive, and call 911.
In Edgefield County, Tyrone McCoy, WJBF News Channel 6.
To not look like a complete fool, I don't know that I would have recognized that was an explosive.
Right. So if you're not sure, what do?
Call 911.
There you go, just what Mr. Dixon said. All right.